sleek, authentic scale, and the ultimate shelf queen. Hi guys, welcome back to the RC store. My name's Ammo. Check out what we got on the test today. Not one, but two unboxings. This is brand new, hot off the press, the Porsche 934 touring car and the 934 rally car by Primal RC. Now this is a joint collaboration by Traction Hobby and Primal RC. If you want the ultimate RC car that does absolutely everything, I believe it's here. So in this video, we're going to take a deep dive in, unbox both of these and check them out. So I've just received both of these, and like I said, one's an on-road version, one is a rally version. I am going to open this box up and deep dive in and check out what these are all about. Now I haven't had a look at these myself, so I'm going through the journey with you guys. So I've taken the outer box off, and how cool do these look? Now these are available in two different colorways. As you can see, you do have here the striking red, and you also have the Golf blue. So we're just going to run through the box art. As you guys can see here, it's a 1/6 scale car, 4-wheel drive, rear wheel drive. Now I will touch base on what that means in a second. Now it's got a 2.4 gigahertz controller, a 4274 brushless motor, 150 amp brushless ESC, 46S capable with LED lights. How cool does this look? Let's flip the box around. Now flipping the box around, everyone loves a smooth round backside. Now that's what I'm talking about. Coming over to the corner of the box here, you do have some information here. Now this tells you the scale, which is a 1/6, the length, width and height, as you can see just there. You've got the wheelbase, wheel track, front and rear. You've got the tire millimeters, as you can see just there. And you've also got the body, which is polycarbonate, the chassis, which is 7075 aluminium 4mm chassis. You do have aluminium parts, which are all in 6061 aluminium alloy. You got the gear ratio, which is 13.79. You have got shock absorbers, which are metal adjustable oil filled shock absorbers. Now I will touch base on the shock absorbers as I go through the unboxing as well. This is an officially Porsche licensed product. Coming across to the other side of the box, boom, how cool does that look? A classic 934. You could never ever go wrong with one of these. So flipping through the box art on the Golf edition, as you can see, absolutely striking livery, pure classic design, looks absolutely amazing. I won't go through the box specs as I've just done that, but I will show you all the box art on this particular one. Excuse the damage just on the box there, that was done in transit. However, this thing looks absolutely incredible. Flipping the box around and checking out that rear end, woohoo! That looks absolutely wicked is the only way to put it. Now this is also an officially Porsche licensed product. Also, it's officially licensed by Golf as well. Right, we've got the box art out the way. I think it's time to lift these boxes off and get these cars out. Now what I'm going to do is basically do this simultaneously. I will get both cars unboxed. I will show you what comes in the boxes. I'll put both cars out. Now I know they are different configurations, so just be aware of that. So I will go through the different options and configurations as we go through the journey. And this is the reason why I'm unboxing two cars together at the same time, so you guys know firsthand what you're getting with each configuration, allowing you to choose the right one for you. So opening up this box, just about fit on the desk. So this is the box lifted off the Golf edition one. As you can see, you do get loads of decals in there. You do have this white box, etc. They do look very different. I'm not sure if they've got exactly the same items in here, but going across to the red one, as you can see, this box looks a bit different. So I think what I'm going to do is unbox these and get these out on the desk. But in true traditional Primal fashion, they come fully protected with this thick foam. Now, those of you that have seen my Challenger video will know I was absolutely gassed about the way the packaging is on these cars. Really thought about, and they do try their best to get these packaged so they come without any damage whatsoever. Right, so what I'm going to do is take all the contents out of this particular box and put them on this side of the desk, and then I'll do the same with this box. I'll put all the contents on this side of the desk, and we'll go through absolutely everything that comes in these two boxes. So I do have both cars unboxed and spread across the desk. You do get some decals with this one, which are exactly the same as this one. And you also get an instruction manual with both. So the only things that I haven't put on the desk with the Golf one is the decal sheet and the instruction manuals, because I've got that covered with the touring car version. So I'm going to go through everything that comes with them. So first thing first, I'll pop this to a side. I will show you guys a decal sheet. So you do have a nice decal sheet, quite large to be fair, that comes with them. You do have different options of license plates. I believe from factory it comes with absolutely nothing on there, so you can literally pick and choose which one you want. You do also have a pack here with some Primal RC stickers on. You've got some window decals, as you can see, side decals. You've got some numbers. There's loads and loads of decals on here. So yeah, you do get a full decal sheet, and that goes for both vehicles. You get a nicely packed instruction manual. Now this looks like a traditional Primal RC instruction manual. If any of you guys ain't brought a Primal RC in the past, this is exactly how all their manuals look. So like the Raminator, the Challenger, etc. They're really high quality. I'm going to get this unpacked. Let's have a quick look at the manual. So looking at the front of the manual, as you can see, you've got a nice coloured front, and you've also got a nice coloured rear, showing the two important badges at the bottom. As you can see, this is an official Porsche licensed product and a Golf licensed product as well. Opening the manual up, it will give you an initial quick start guide, as you can see just there. And then as we flick through it, it also gives you exploded diagrams of every single part in the actual vehicle itself, from what I can see. So for example, exploded diagram showing you absolutely every component. Now the whole book has loads of these diagrams in there, going through every single component, showing you how to build this car up if you need to ever disassemble it. Right, each car does come with this white box. It does have a factory seal sticker on there. I'm going to open this up and let's check out what's in these boxes. I believe it's a transmitter. Yes, it's a transmitter. So I've picked up the camera just to show you these bits in detail, what these actually come with. Now I've unpacked everything on this side with the red Porsche, but on the other Porsche, which is the Golf one, I've not unpacked everything because half the stuff's already on it. So I'll explain. So with the red Porsche, you do get a set of rally lights that you can basically put up front. So you can attach these on the front bonnet, just like the Golf one. We'll go through the cars in a second. You do get a cover for the rally lights, and you get all the attachments to fit that as well. You do also get, now this is where things get interesting, aluminium shock towers. So you get the front and rear aluminum shock towers, and this goes for both cars. Now also you get a set of suspensions. So when you mean a set of suspensions, I mean new shocks and springs as well. So this is an off-road shock and suspension. So as you can see, it's billet aluminium. It's got dust covers on there. Looks absolutely epic. The quality of this is incredible. And then over on the Golf edition's obviously got the off-road shocks on it already, and you do get in the box the touring on-road shocks. So the red one is already got these ones on, and the Golf one has already got these on, but you do get the opposite set as well if you want to go on-road or off-road. So as we're speaking about the shocks, the off-road shocks come with 400 CST oil already filled in them, and the on-road shocks come with 500 CST oil already filled with them. So the shocks are already tuned for the correct terrain. We also get a set of fog lights, So like I said, you got the bonnet lights that are just there. You've also got a set of the yellow fog lights with covers as well. Now they basically sit on there like that. You do get a toolkit, as you can see, and that's pretty much it. Well, it's quite a lot, to be fair. So both cars come with this G7P FlySky controller. This is a premium controller. It looks absolutely fantastic. You do have a large LCD display at the top. You do have like a toggle button just here, which is a real nice touch. Loads of channels from what I can see. So you've got a couple of channels up here. You've got the trigger. You've got your on and off switch around the back just there. Wow, I could probably do a whole video on this. It's got that much on it. But guys, we're going to try and keep this short because this video is going to be long as we speak. So there's a couple of more switches just here as well. So there are different channels and different options for this. Remember, this car has got loads of features that I will go into as we go through this video. The controller itself feels quite nice. And I do like the fact that it's got this bit here, which will literally rest on your thumb. You can stretch your finger nice and comfortably, so that's not a problem. The only downside I will say is for people like myself, when you're filming and you want to control this single-handedly, it's physically not possible. The steering wheel is quite far forward. Now, if you could adapt a thumb shift on there, that'd be nice, but you cannot control this single-handedly. Not that you're supposed to with RCs, you're supposed to use two hands. But moving forward, the actual wheel feels really, really nice, really comfortable. You do have a nice foam grip on the actual wheel itself, which is quite cool. Flipping over to the bottom here, you open this and it does take 4 AA batteries and they slot in at the bottom. You do have a JST plug where you can obviously put your own rechargeable battery in if you want to do that. The controller itself does have a carbon fiber effect going all the way across the back and across the handle, which does add extra grip, which is a nice touch. Right, so you get another little pack here, and in this pack you do have a bind plug, also some instructions that are separate for the FSR7V receiver. That's the receiver that's in here. This car does come fully equipped with a gyro as well. So the moment you guys have been waiting for, I am going to take the covers off both cars. My apologies, there was a lot to go through. I just want you guys to make the right choice when picking your Porsche. So like I said, there's 2 different options. You now know absolutely everything that they come with, but now you're going to find out the true specification differences on the particular cars. So without further ado, I'm going to reveal both of these cars. Oh wow, these both look absolutely fantastic. Let me get all this sheeting completely off. I will say this sheeting is absolutely sticky. Right, I'm going to get these off and I'll tune back in a second. Oh my God, how good do these two look? Now these, when I say are literally for anybody, these cars, they've literally hit the nail on the head and they have catered for majority of the people out there, and that's given. Whether you're a collector and you want a shelf queen, whether you want a true rally inspired rally car, whether you want an on-road tarmac car, whether you want a 4-wheel drive, rear wheel drive, trust me, these cars do it all. Absolutely incredible. These things look amazing. I swear the camera will not do these cars justice. They look absolutely magnificent. So what I'm going to do is literally pull the camera in. I'm going to talk you through the full specification on both cars, and I'll go touch base on certain things that I promised at the start of this video and explaining the 4-wheel drive system and so forth. So without further ado, let's get you guys right in. So the state, these cars do absolutely everything. They're great bashers. They look fantastic, amazing durability, and like I said, with complete realism as well. So starting on the road version of the 934, looking at the front bumper, Looks absolutely fantastic. Like I said, scale looking, and to be fair, these do look like shelf queens, I ain't going to lie. The scale details absolutely fantastic. Check out them headlights. Just the detail and the effort that's gone into there is absolutely incredible. Now all the line work has been carried out on all these cars as well, as you can see, running all the way across the vehicle, and exactly the same on the Golf car as well. The iconic Porsche logo standing absolutely fantastic in the middle of that bonnet, going all the way across to the top. You do have realistic looking wiper blades. Like I said, true scaleism here. You've got a full interior, which I will touch base on in a second. You can probably just see the driver sitting in there, and you do have a nice sun strip at the top stating Porsche. Going over across the roof, look how fantastic that roof looks. And then going over to the rear window, you can see a spot of the roll cage and going into the whale tail. Looking at the front bumper on the rally version, as you can see, once again, the scale details continue throughout both of these cars. You can see the Porsche emblem just there on the center of the bonnet. You do get the yellow fog lamps on this one pre-installed, and you get the bonnet fog lamps just there as well. These things look absolutely unreal. Like I said, the realism is something else. These do look like true shelf queens, to be fair. I think Primal RC and Traction Hobby literally knocked it out of the park with these. Incredible. They're these sort of cars that you need to see in person to absolutely appreciate. Just look at that. Absolutely incredible. So going over to the side of the vehicles, if you check out these wheels, they look absolutely amazing. Look at the center locks on them. They do have the Porsche emblem on them. They are aluminium, I believe, which yes, they are. They're metal, and they look absolutely fantastic. The tires themselves do have the Primal RC logo on them, and over on the other side, it does state Traction Hobby. I was just going to show you the tri-tread over on the tarmac version. So this is the tire tread on the tarmac version. The tires themselves feel really, really grippy and sticky, to be fair. These are definitely going to hook up, that's for sure. Going over to the rally version, you can see over here, you do have rally inspired tires. These are once again a very grippy compound, but a lot more aggressive. And in there, once again, you can see the metal center lock with the Porsche emblem. So running down the side of both of these cars, you do have the Porsche livery going across the bottom, as you can see. And once again, exactly the same on the Golf Edition, just running across the bottom of the door and the rear quarter. The scale details continue. As you can see here, you've got your mirror, you've got a door handle, and you do also have a full interior. I am going to try to capture this the best I can for you guys. It's a bit difficult here, but there you go. You can see the driver, and you can see you've even got a dash in there as well. Coming across here, you got the rear quarter panel, which is flared out absolutely crazy, as you can see. Look at that. One thing I've loved about Porsches are those rear quarters. Going over to the top, you do have a roll cage sitting in there nicely. The huge famous whale tail across the back, the rear lights, the rear bumper. Now I will go through the back of this vehicle in a second, but first we will have a look at the Golf Edition. So the Golf Edition one, once again, you do have the scale details like the mirror, the door handle, and the full interior. Once again, I will try and capture this the best I can. The lighting ain't the greatest here, but you can see you also have a dashboard, etc. in there as well. Once again, the rear quarters on this thing, absolutely incredible, flared out. Look, absolutely sick is the way to describe this. The huge rear whale tail and the roll cage in the back. Now these are based on the Turbo Edition, as you already guessed. hence they are the wide body. Coming onto the rear of the cars, it just gets better. Look at that. That's incredible. Now this decal here is actually raised, stating turbo. I have not taken the outer bit off. I need to take that off, so my apologies on that. But yes, they have got the turbo emblem there, the nice Porsche emblem going across the lights in true tradition, and you got the rear number plate. So it does come with a couple of different number plates that you can put on here on the number plate holder, but they do come blank. You've got the rear exhaust pipes. Now how cool do these look? Amazing, right? And exactly the same goes to the on-road version as well. So as you can see, we start off here. You've got the nice Porsche logo going across the light bar, across there. You've got the turbo decal, and then you've got the fantastic looking tailpipes. And like I said, the scaleism here is absolutely incredible. Looking underneath the car, as you can see here, you've got your aluminium 7075 aluminium chassis, looking absolutely amazing. The shell itself is not held on with pins. It's actually on the clipless system, where you've got these brackets here. Literally, you just press this and the shell will come off. So you've got one there, you got one there, and you've got one hidden just there. So what I'm going to do is whip this shell off. Once this shell's off, we're going to go through all the actual details on the inside, all the mechanics, and we will touch base on all the specifications. Now I have flipped the body shell upside down just to show you guys the inside of the body shell. Now the Golf body shell, which is this one just here, will have a few more bits on it because you have got all the lights on the bonnet just here. So you can see the indents there and there to install the lights. If you want to install them, you can do. So you can see this has got factory light buckets, absolutely amazing. So you've got your indicators, you've got your actual main lights hidden just under there. You do have complete inner wheel arches. Now this is something you don't see from a lot of RC companies. So this car has basically, when it was designed, they actually went above and beyond designing all of this, to be fair. The interior itself, so that's the underneath, and you can see they have used nuts and bolts to put loads of bits in, etc. So for example, the wipers are held in with screws there, Allen screws, same with the mirrors, same with the handles. So that's a nice neat touch. You know it ain't going to fall off. Rear wheel guards there. You've got the controller just there for your lighting kit, and once again your rear light buckets, as you can see. You've got your clipless system on the rear just there, and across the sides as well. This thing looks absolutely amazing. So we're going to go through the full specifications of this amazing looking chassis, and I will show you some interesting configurations. So you have a high performance drivetrain, as you can see, which is rigged up with a 150 amp ESC by Hobbywing. Now this is mated to an XT60 connector, as you can see, which is supporting a 4S to a 6S LiPo. So you've got a massive power range for some serious speed and acceleration. You've got a 2000 kV high torque brushless motor. Now on the motor itself, as you can see, you've got a nice heatsink already on there, ready to accept a fan. So if you want to put a fan on there, you can do. Now this will give you reliable high RPM performance under stress. So looking at the gearing, you do have a 15 tooth steel pinion and a 48 tooth spare gear combo. Now this has been optimized for great balance, torque and top speed. Right, we got two servos here, and you're probably thinking, why do we have two servos up at the front? Now here is a piece of art. Now check this out, where you can see it says Traction Hobby just there. In this metal case here, that is a switchable all-wheel drive to a rear-wheel drive, literally from the flick of a switch off your transmitter. It's a gear selector. This will allow you to run four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive literally in a flick of a switch. Now, how many RC rally cars have you seen that's got that feature? Now, that would mean if this car hooks up incredibly well as a four-wheel drive on tarmac and you want to get that back end loose, literally flick the switch, go over to rear wheel drive mode, and you can go sliding. Under this brace here, you can see a center differential. That is an aluminium cased center differential, and you do have the same running across the rear, hidden in that case, and one up front as well. Now, the center and front diff contain 10,000 CST oil, and the rear differential, which is there, contains 5,000 CST oil, which means this car is tuned from the factory to be responsive and ready to go. We're looking at the front of the actual car itself. It looks absolutely fantastic. You do have a nice foam protection bumper across the front here, and this is quite thick and padded, to be fair. Your lower arm, control arm just here, once again, absolutely fantastic. Adjustable turnbuckles, as you can see, for your upper arm and for your steering. So your steering turnbuckles are completely adjustable as well. Over here, you do have, this is, like I said, the red Porsche. So these are the on-road shocks, and I went through the full specification of them earlier. You do have adjustable mounts to put the shocks in if you do want to tune them. Coming across the top here, a 70-75 4mm thick shock tower, and also the car contains front and rear hinge pin covers, once again, are aluminium. So you can see just tucked away in there, black and silver, they're 4mm thick, 70-75 hinge pin covers that are made out of billet aluminium. I thought I'd show you the rear as well as we're on this topic. As you can see, once again, the hinge pin cover on the rear is probably a better view of it from here, and the rear shock tower. Now these, like I said, you do get another set of shock towers as well. Now this will allow you to convert your car between a street car and a dirt car, along with obviously the suspension configurations that come within the box as well. So just underneath this turnbuckle, you can see a sway bar. Now that sway bar comes pre-installed at the front and one pre-installed on the rear as well. Now this will optimize your handling and controllability for the car. You do have some bracing that goes down to the chassis from the front and rear of the car, as you can see just here, and then going across from just under there. You can see the ESC wires are actually zip tied to it, but you do have another brace going across there. The battery tray is adjustable. Though it comes in the largest position, you can make it smaller if you want to run a smaller battery as well. Once again, this thing looks absolutely epic. On the side here, you do have some guards to stop or minimize, should I say, any dirt getting in from there. So you do have that. The rear is pretty much open, which should allow any dirt to fly out. But bear in mind, this does come with all the internal wheel arches that basically cover every single wheel as well. So the amount of dirt and stones will be minimized with that configuration. This billet aluminium box here basically houses your receiver. Now I believe this is waterproof. You can see all the rubber seals where the wires go, but the receiver, they have stated that it is waterproof, and yeah, it's covered nicely in this aluminium box. That's a real nice touch, to be fair. Looking on the inside of the wheels, you do have metal CVDs just there. Once again, fantastic. You can see your sway bar going across the front there. Spin this wheel around, you see the CVD there as well. You can adjust the upper turnbuckle. That's your upper control arm. You do have two mounting points, so that is adjustable, I believe. And you can adjust it from the turnbuckle itself as well. So the rear, once again, a pretty similar setup. You can see, I'm not sure if they're dog bones or are they CVDs. Looking from underneath, you can tell they are CVDs. So you got CVDs on the rear as well. Flipping the car upside down, just to give you guys an insight of what it actually looks like underneath. And I want to show you guys the quality of this. Once again, your front and lower arms. Now they are basically made out of composite material. You do have your nice thick aluminium chassis running all the way across. Just there, your spare gear, which has been cut out so any debris can fly out and be released. Your clipless system that we've already touched base on. Your rear lower arms once again. And then going over to your rear diffuser and your detailed scale looking exhaust tips. Now a neat feature they've got here is this. That's actually a handle. You can put your hand in there and literally carry this car around from that handle, which is a fantastic touch. These are actually body mounts to basically hold the front of the body in. So the front of the body comes with 3 posts that basically go into them 3 holes, and then the rest clips in. So I wanted to take the opportunity to basically show you guys the lights on these particular cars. Like I said, they're so scale looking, absolutely incredible. Now what we will do is we'll look at the lighting system on the Golf one, as it's got all the optional extra lights on there, and obviously the red one will be exactly the same but without the optional extra lights. You can put the extra lights on, like I said, they do come in the packaging, so you can fit them if you wanted to, but if you don't, then obviously it'd be without them lights. So I'm going to go through the lighting system with you guys. I'm going to dim the lights and I'm going to come in front with the camera and show you these firsthand. So I have dimmed the lights in the room here just to show you guys. So I'll flick through all the different lighting combos. So there you've got your main headlights, absolutely amazing and so scale looking. You've got your center bonnet fog lights, as you can see, true rally style. And then you've got your yellow fog lamps as well. This thing looks absolutely epic. And then once again, you can have just the yellow fog lamps, or you can turn them off. Now it also has active indicators, as you can see. Let's flip over to the rear and check out the back lights. So looking at the rear end, switch the lights on, absolutely amazing. And over at the front you can see how bright the lights are. I have dimmed the lights in the studio, so they won't shine as bright, but if I do turn the lights completely off, you'll see how bright they are. And you can see the rear ones shining amongst us. Full lights on ahead. And once again, you can see the front lights. The rear lights don't actually change but when you go through the configuration, and they just go off. You do have indicators on the rear as well, and they look absolutely fantastic. You do have reverse lights. However, I need to prop the car up and stick it in reverse, so that's just going to fall off the desk. So I've just propped the car up. There you go. You can see the rear reverse light working in action. There's your brake lights as well. So this car is packed with features. So I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to flick this car from 4-wheel drive to rear wheel drive. Literally on the transmitter itself, you have one button. You press that one button and you'll hear this. Literally the gearbox flick from front and rear. Now I will demonstrate this to you guys. Excuse the noise of the ESC. I have ran this on, it's basically got a 6S battery in there. Battery fits no problem whatsoever. So just demonstrating this in 4-wheel drive. And then you just press the button. Rear wheel drive. Back to 4-wheel drive. How incredible is that? So literally, if you jump from a gravel terrain up onto a tarmac terrain and you want the car to be loose, so you've got it in rear wheel drive, hooning through the tarmac, and then you hit a gravel and you don't want to spin out, flick that switch back into 4-wheel drive and off you go. Absolutely amazing. This car is unstoppable. So guys, I just want to touch base really quickly on this. There's a few adjustments that you may have to make out of the box. Now, I did notice this and I have made the adjustments. Now, it isn't because that the shocks are wrong, etc. It's down to the fluids. So the rally car was actually sitting a lot more squatted and a lot lower than the on-road car. Now, the on-road car was sitting a lot higher than the off-road car. So that didn't make sense to me. I had a further look into it. Now, the CST oil rating is obviously a lot thinner in the rally car compared to the on-road car. So obviously on tarmac you want thicker fluid, where off-road you want that dampening, you want the shocks to be freely moving, etc. But what that's basically done is made the rally car sit lower. So there's a few adjustments that you have to make. So I'm just letting you guys know to make the rally car sit back how it should. So as you can see, both cars now are sitting at a respectable height. Now, you don't want the road car sitting high if you're going to be doing speed runs or if you're going to be hooning. Because if you're hooning, you will topple because the center of gravity is a lot higher. And if you're doing speed runs, it'll take off. So you need this sitting at a respectable height. Now I've managed to lower this to a nice level where it's not completely squatted like that, where it looks absolutely amazing, don't get me wrong, but that just won't be suitable for riding on basically general road terrain. If you were running it on a flat tarmac track, or if it's going to be a shelf queen, then by all means you can drop it like that and it'll look absolutely amazing. The rally car needed to be jacked up. Simple reason being, as you guys know, the sort of off-roading I do with these rally cars, you need that suspension travel and you need that gap in the arches. So I'm going to bring the camera in to show you really quickly what I've done and how to set them up. Right, so the adjustments I made on the rally car, so without messing around with the suspension too much, because they are dialed pretty much in, but like I said, I needed that clearance for the terrain that I'm running on. What I've done is the shock points there, they were in the center. I've moved that over into the inner section. So it's furthest to the right there and furthest to the left there. So where they were in the center, they've been moved in. And then over on the rear, lower section, I have left that screw in the center. So I've not adjusted that. I have just adjusted the top ones. So you can probably see there, you got the outer, you got middle, and then you got the furthest on the inside. So I've done that on both sides. I have also done this over on the front. So you can see there on the front, I have brought them closer in. And then on the lower of the front, I have actually moved that screw you can see there from the outer to the inner position. And I have done that on both sides. Now that has raised the car to where I needed it to be. However, I was finding because this has got thinner fluid in it, the rebound rate was a lot less. So you need to basically stiffen up the springs a bit. So you can see I've put a bit of masking tape there just to make sure that I know where my start point was. And I've wound this down approximately 7 turns on both sides. Now that has got me a more or less nice clearance gap between the wheels and the arches, allowing me to jump and do the stuff I do with rally cars. And the same sort of settings are required on the back. Obviously you can adjust these to your own capabilities of depending on the sort of terrain you're running on. You don't have to go as high as me, or you might want to go higher, but that's entirely up to you. But like I said, these are the rally shocks. I'll show you what I've done on the on-road car now. So over on the on-road car, similar sort of settings, but a few more adjustments. So on the shock towers, I've moved the standoffs right into the outside, as you can see. And on the lower, I've done exactly the same. I've moved them to the outside. I've not messed around with the spring rate or anything like that because that's completely fine. Like I said, it's thicker fluid and it responds perfectly. So I have adjusted that on the front and I'll show you what I've done on the rear. So over on the rear, once again, as you can see, the standoffs have gone to the outside on both sides. And over on the bottom wishbone, we have also gone to the outside. Now that has lowered the car in a respectful manner so that your arches don't rub. So you've got to be careful you don't slam it too much and the arches don't catch. That's the last thing you want, is to ruin your body. So I've done it to a respectful manner where the arches don't catch and it has lowered the car so it's not sitting higher than a rally car. Now I'll put them side by side and you will see what they look like. So side by side, as you can see on the rear bumpers, the rally car sits ever so slightly higher, just how we want it. Plenty of clearance there now to run like a rally car, where the on-road car, once again, still sitting respectfully so you don't rub on no arches, but I have lowered it hell of a lot in the respect of from where it was out the box. And that's what you will need to do, like I said, depending on what sort of setup you're doing, whether you're going on-road, whether you're going on off-road, whether you're going extreme off-road or not, because you might not need to jack it up so much if you're not doing courses like I normally do with rallying cars. And with the tarmac cars, you might want to go lower. That's entirely up to you. So, the unveiling news that I stated at the start of this video. Right, so Primal RC and Traction Hobby have been working on this particular project for 2 years. So 2 years of solid hard graft in order to get the Porsche and Golf licensing. Finally, they executed it, and they executed it absolutely incredibly. Now, I don't believe it can get any better than this. I've seen the actual pictures of this car and I thought to myself, yeah, that looks cool. But when you see it in reality, wow, it's a whole different kettle of fish. This thing looks absolutely magnificent is the only way I can put it. It looks that good. I want to literally not run it and I just want to put it on the shelf. But guys, I'm going to have to run these. I want to see what they're capable of. Like I said, I will be doing 2 separate videos. I'll be running both of them on 6S. I will do a full-on GPS speed run with this to show you guys what they're capable of. We'll do a tarmac run where we'll flick them between 4-wheel drive hooning and rear-wheel drive hooning, allowing you to see the main difference. And we will also do a full-on gravel run. And I think it's fair to say we will take the golf car on the super track. So some fantastic news from Primal RC. Now these cars are being released in multiple countries across the world. Now Primal RC have recently expanded. Now this is something you guys would not have known. They have expanded. These cars are now available to pre-order from their website, which I'll put across the bottom here, which is primalrc.com. You can pre-order these. Now, the magnificent news for you guys to annihilate the tariffs that have come into place, this is now going to allow cheaper prices. So they have basically set up hubs in 3 locations now, in the UK, in Canada, and their main head office in USA. So these vehicles, along with other Primal RC cars, will be available for quick, fast shipping, along with cheaper rates, so you don't get stung by them US tariffs. So for those of you that are interested in any Primal RC product, along with these specific cars, and say arguments that you're based in Europe, they will be sent out the UK hub and you will get your car a lot quicker, or should I say your products a lot quicker than you would from the USA. Also, this is going to allow cheaper prices because you won't be affected by the USA tariffs as well. So that's some fantastic news for all of you guys out there. And it's also fantastic news for Primal RC pushing their brand, literally elevating to the next level. What a company. So pre-orders will be open from, I believe, later on this month. And you can literally jump onto primalrc.com and literally pre-order your vehicle. So price point, you guys are going to ask me, what are the prices of these vehicles? They look absolutely amazing. They've had some solid hard graft go into creating these creations. What are the prices? So the Golf Edition is going to be $875 US, and the red Porsche is going to be $850 US. Now, I think that's a fair price for a 6S setup that looks so scaled to the point that you could keep this as a shelf queen. Pre-orders will be open later on this month, so be sure to check out primalrc.com. Keep an eye out on their website. They will be releasing pre-orders, and like I said, you can pre-order literally this car anywhere around the world from their website, and they will ship out to you globally. If you're based in the UK, USA or Canada, you will be exclusive to free shipping, providing you pre-order the car. So if you pre-order it on the website, they will be shipping to you guys for free. And like I said, for the rest of you guys, you will get cheaper rates. Now, simple reason being, because of these new hubs that have been created and opened, it will allow cheaper rates so you guys ain't affected by these crazy tariffs. So for those of you guys that basically pre-order the vehicle as soon as it's available for pre-order, like I said, which is anytime now, your cars will be delivered in September. So just giving you guys a bit of a guideline of how long it's going to take for your cars to get out to you guys. So if you pre-order literally now, there's no long 6-8 month wait. Literally, you will get your car in September and you guys be one of the first to get them. Now, if you do order these cars from the website, primalrc.com, you will also get the full support from Primal RC. They will basically honor the warranty, which they do, but you will be dealing with them directly. Now, if you want some fantastic customer service, as you guys seen, I experienced when I went over to the USA wow, these guys literally helped me looking for RC parts, cars that I wanted. They literally went above and beyond. Now, if you want that sort of service, buy directly from the website and you will be able to basically receive any help that you need with these cars. Literally jump on their website. They have got an email address there for customer service support. Literally ping them an email and they will back you 110%, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So for those of you customers over in the USA, Canada and UK, if you order directly from primalrc.com, you will also get included both sets of wheels and tires. Now, in the unboxing, they weren't both sets. These are basically pre-production cars, so they didn't come with both sets of wheels and tires. But the official launch ones, they will have both tarmac tires and rally tires. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So if you do purchase these cars directly from primalrc.com, the Golf rally car will come with tarmac tires as well as rally car tires, and the Porsche will also come with rally tires as well as tarmac tires. So both cars come with both sets of tires. So you can, with the kit that comes in the car, is make an on-road car into a rally car or a rally car onto an on-road car. Like I said, they will both come with both sets of suspensions, shock towers, along with both sets of wheels and tires. Now, like I said, these cars will be available probably now to pre-order or later on this month to pre-order. Guys, hop on them. They look absolutely fantastic. Now, this is my first honest review on these. I've not ran them. I've literally unboxed them in front of you guys. I've never seen them before, and I think they look absolutely stunning. So, guys, if you've enjoyed this content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that notification button, and I'm going to see you in the next one where we take this one out for a full-on GPS speed run, a tarmac hoon, and let's see what this thing is capable of. And then following that video, I will release a separate video where we take the rally car in true rally tradition over to the super track.